This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
There's going to be a play at home. Here's the throw. It's late. Bauer slides in. It's a double from Sal. Luis Rengifo with an RBI single. Square. Two. Line right down the right field line. That is going to be a fair ball into the corner. One runs in. Two runs are in. Yelich is held. Fly ball to center. It's back. And it's over the head of Cox. Here comes Terang. Churio scores. Terang will stop at third. Contreras. Left field going to be deep enough to score Terang. Two runs come across on the hit by Vaughn. Yelich, shovel right center base hit. Rengifo scores, it's 11-2. That's base hit through the right side. Churio drives in another run, and the Brewers have put up a dozen. Yelich into left, a base hit. Another run scored. Ortiz with a base hit into right center. That's going to score at least another sac fly for Contreras. 16-2.
You sure that's it? Good. Oh, man.
Couldn't even keep the entire highlight in the highlight package.
We're going to just give you one guess as to what the final call was. Brewers 16, Giants 2. Jeff Levery, Brewers TV. And Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. On a Tuesday morning where the Brewers keep it rolling, the Packers have player availability.
Uh-oh.
Ron Burgundy.
Is it time?
I want to buy tickets to the Notre Dame Badgers game, and I can't figure it out. I'm looking for some help. Nothing from the Bucks. And UWM goes down. Let's play catch-up.
Packers.
OTAs again today, and Matt LaFleur in front of a microphone yet again. 11:05 for Coach LaFleur. OTA practice availability for the media at 11:25 this morning, and then player availability after practice. Now, you might remember that player availability was supposed to happen last week, until all of the news broke in regard to Josh Jacobs, to which then the Packers said, maybe we don't stick microphones in the players' faces.
Right. Good PR move.
A week later, you would assume that the Packers players have been reminded how we do it here in regard to media, in interactions, and what we talk about, and what we no comment. Over under on how many no comments we're going to get today.
It better be at least 15.
Hopefully it's the over, right?
Yeah.
Or is there going to be some players that go, listen, we don't know anything, and what we do know ain't good.
There's going to be at least someone who says something they shouldn't.
That's my favorite part.
It's just the nature of the beast with this. Unless you literally have every single player say no comment, there's going to be someone that says something.
So I have a legit question for us in regard to being members of the media. Do we even ask? And I understand, but is that not? I mean, I'm not putting anybody under the bus. We're going to talk to Matt Schneidman at 8 o'clock this morning. Maybe we'll ask him the same thing. Schneid with the Athletic. The Tundra podcast with John Kuhn. If we are in front of players in the locker room and we clearly know the situation, what is the purpose, Josh, of asking about the Josh Jacobs situation of the players?
Because it's one of the biggest stories, and you're in the media, and if you can get anyone's opinion on any part of this, that's you doing your job. I think it's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Between what the media, what their job is, and what we all kind of think, right? Like, I'm sure there are many members of the media that are going to have a microphone today that know yeah, this is kind of a touchy subject. I don't want to ruffle feathers. However, that's my job. My job is to report and ask the questions that need to be asked. And when they don't, we as fans also get on them. Think about how many times, like after a loss, and we go, man, I really wish someone would just ask LaFleur why X or why Y.
See, the difference, though, that's about football. That's about the game. That's about something that we watched, and as fans, we'd like to know. This is a legal situation where we have as much information as any player in that locker room may or may not have. Furthermore, it's a bad look if they say something that would go against what the Packers want them to say. There's a reason they delayed this for a week. I'm just saying, as someone who looks at these situations from a 30,000-foot view, because I am not a reporter, I do not have an expectation that I'm, quote, doing my job based on something like this. We're fans. This radio show is about bringing the fandom of our favorite teams to life for you, and also sharing a little bit of tidbit every once in a while from us and how we view things. That's the beauty of the show. In regard to the situation, though, I just don't know what we could possibly ask and what their answer could possibly be that would create news worth sharing.
Sure.
It just puts us in a weird spot.
It's a weird spot all around. But I feel like if your job is you're in the media and you don't ask the question, then it's on you. It's kind of like just formalities. I know you know that I'm going to ask the question. I know that you're going to respond no comment. Good. Like,
what's the purpose of the question then? If I'm being completely honest,
100%, I get what you're saying. Then why ask it at all? I just feel like it's like an accepted truth. If you're in the media and that's your job is to do it, you need to ask the question on the off chance that someone does say something. Because imagine if you don't ask it, you're not there, and then someone says something to someone else, and then your boss is coming back to you and going, we could have broke that story. We could have had that. Why didn't you ask that? And then
there's 100 microphones on all these guys' faces.
Exactly.
So define break. I don't know. As a fan, I look from the outside and go, brr.
Yeah.
My bad on that.
No, all good. Okay, here's my question in regards to this. Do you ever see like a story break in politics, like something big comes out and people always go, is this just a distraction? Is this just something crazy? Like when they said like, there are aliens. And you went, you're bringing out the alien story to distract us from the war. Okay. All right.
Right.
So here we are trying to focus on Jacobs, knowing that we have player availability and it's, the Packers might get Josh Sweat. Right. Yeah, look at this. Look at this shiny object over here. Focus on this. You think any of that came out like just because they knew that there's going to be some player availability and some interviews today and going, let's give a different topic.
There's a conversation in the 7:00 hour in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump about the baseball side of this, Josh, and how there's strategery behind the scenes that we don't get to know about. So that might be one of them. Mm-hmm. Are we slow playing Brandon Woodruff on purpose? That might be one of them. We'll talk about it at 7:00.
We get to put our tinfoil hats on. I'm looking forward to that.
We'll see what player availability provides, and we'll catch up with Schneid before all of that happens this morning at 8 a.m. Plus, Thanksgiving Eve got a little more interesting yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns and the Rams. Big trade. You're shaking your head. Myles Garrett heads to the Rams. The Browns get edge Jared Versay, a 2027 first-round pick, a 28 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick.
Yeah. Why
are you shaking your head?
Well, that's the Rams going all in, right?
Yeah,
like, that's the Rams. But if I'm the Browns, man, like, is this just the Browns going to Brown? Like, I understand that, like, things with Myles Garrett and the Browns wasn't great, but I'm looking at that trade and I'm going, what did we do the second that Parsons became a Packer, right? The entire world starts looking at who won the trade. Doing the same thing with the Rams and the Browns this morning, and I'm going, I think I would rather be the Cowboys than the Rams this morning, looking at what they gave away in comparison to what the Browns did.
So here's a reminder of how that shook out. the Packers got Micah Parsons and gave up Kenny Clark, a first-round pick in 26 and a first-round pick in 2027. The Rams got Myles Garrett and gave up what we just mentioned. First, a first-round pick in 27, a second-round pick in 28, a third-round pick in 2029. The money is about the same, too. I mean, a 4-year deal, $188 million is what Parsons got from the Packers. And I believe it's something like $160 million 4-year deal that Garrett just signed through 2030. So I think he's was under a 6-year commitment to the Browns, a boatload of money there. And I have the entire breakdown of how much money is this year and that year and cap hit and all that. And I'm more concerned about Myles Garrett going up against Micah Parsons than anything else. And I know they don't play against each other.
Right.
I get it.
Same side of the ball. Right.
But they were also on a podcast earlier this year.
Chirping at each other.
I think guys like you and I are going to dive into a little bit more now.
Well, and the other thing is obviously looking at it from a Packers perspective, right? We were playing the Rams anyway. So it wasn't like, now that Myles Garrett is there. But the same way that the rest of the world woke up when the Packers got Micah Parsons and went, well, there's your betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. A lot of people doing that with the Rams this morning. That is a huge move for a team that was already right there.
The NFC West is the division in the NFC that is the key holder to all the good things. Seattle, Rams, 49ers, and then Cardinals.
And then the Cardinals. Stepchild Cardinals, yeah.
Poor Mr. LaFleur.
And maybe he's turning it all around,
Well,
all they got to do is trade us Josh Sweat first.
Yeah, let's do that first.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what those conversations are like between brothers. Hey,
right? Bro, come on. Just do it.
Or is it GMs? Do they stay out of it?
That's a good question. You think LaFleur gets asked that today?
You want to talk about having pictures of someone else.
Right.
Listen, we've talked about that. Like, oh, that person must have pictures of that person.
A little blackmail.
Actually, LaFleur's do have pictures of that person.
A lot of pictures.
All right, lots of NFL. Moving on to the Brewers.
Brewers.
That's a lot of runs.
It's not just a lot of runs.
16 runs. It's a lot of hits, too.
It's a lot of runs without the ball ever leaving the ballpark.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
16 runs, no home run. I don't care. I just think it's wild that like you can do it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's almost more difficult to do to score 16 and not have any of those come off of the long ball. It's pretty wild.
16 runs, 18 hits. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. The big thing I looked at too with this is if you would have told me, hey, Drowan's on the mound and the Brewers are up 7-2, and then you told me, all right, we're going to pull him and put in Patrick, I would have said, why? This guy has 5 runs to work with. Save the bullpen. What we don't need to go through people, right? Are we really that worried about his pitch count? Let him, he can throw some meatballs. I don't care.
Something was weird. I don't know. 4 innings pitched for Drowan. Patrick came in for an inning. DL Hall pitched 2. Grant Anderson was in at the end, and then Jake Woodford. That's when I was confused. When I understand what you're saying, and then when Grant Anderson went in, though, with just a huge lead, I was like, is this not when we put in a position player to pitch? Like, how many runs do you need to have in terms of a lead to have, I don't know, Vaughn come in and pitch?
Right. I feel like they only do the position player if you're the losing team because they don't want to waste an arm. Not if you're the winning team. I feel like it's just usually they don't burn the bullpen because they go, well, listen, we can let the starter go longer because they got such a buffer. It's not a tight game. With the game's in the bag, we just need to keep getting outs.
They must not have liked what they saw from him early on. When he gave up that Matt Chapman home run, which Churio almost robbed.
Yep, that was close.
The wall kind of robbed him. He didn't time his, listen to us. Bud, if you would have timed your jump
what are you
just
doing?
A little, geez. Do you think you can even hit the top of the wall?
No, probably not. But damn, would I like to try.
Would you?
Yeah.
What about a Lambeau leap?
Oh, no. No, you could put like a step ladder out there. I'd probably still. Maybe a trampoline. If I could like bounce off of one of those little ones.
Come on.
No,
oh my God. We know people.
There's no way that ends well.
Can you imagine that would go? Listen, you running up, hitting a trampoline, and still not making it.
There'd be a permanent mark on the wall.
Is he okay? I think he's okay. Is he moving?
Where did Josh try to do that? Oh, I see the outline right there. Got it.
16 runs, by the way, a season high. The last time they even got close, the season opener against the White Sox. Again tonight, 6:40, those same Giants, that same stadium, AmFam Field. Coming up in the I Have Questions portion. In regard to AmFam Field and Brewers games and opponents and giveaways, what gets you off the couch? You are there where Josh lives in the Milwaukee area, or you're here where I live in Northeast Wisconsin. Now, what gets you off the couch has a little bit to do with geography, but also what drives you to a game. Is it an opening on your schedule? Is it the promotional giveaway? Is it the opponent? What is it? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. We'll ask that question coming up towards the bottom of the hour. Badgers. I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah, what's going on?
I can't figure out how to buy tickets to this game at Lambeau. Like, I can't at all. At all. I got nothing to offer anybody with any information on how we're going to land tickets to Lambeau Field. I looked at the Badgers website. I looked at Notre Dame's website. I've searched the AIs. I got nothing. So is it the secondary market only? Because it's a home game for Notre Dame. So I'm like, ooh, I got this. I'm going to go to the Notre Dame website. Oh, no. There it is. Sold out, it says. Then I was like, all right, then when do tickets go on sale to the general public? They don't. It is season ticket holder and donor only through Wisconsin. And there are an allotment of tickets that you are allowed to purchase. There's a lot cooking in that department this week. So I would assume that a lot of tickets for this game are going to hit the secondary market this week or next week, because it looks like they're making all of the tickets that were available for purchase. I don't know if it's a lottery or just how they're going to choose and how many you can get, up to 8 in certain circumstances. But nonetheless, I mean, last I checked, there's a lot of fans and a lot of seats in that stadium, and I can't figure out how to buy a single ticket.
So it says that 2026, according to the website, says the 2026 football season ticket holders who submit a request are guaranteed the opportunity to purchase at least 2 tickets.
Up to 8, right?
Yeah. So that's what, from May 26th through this Friday, is when you put in that request, and then I guess you get the tickets, you get the opportunity to purchase them on the 6th. Or
I don't think we get the opportunity.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
So that's why I'm pissed. See, that just came full circle. Anybody else got information that we could share? Because we got nothing.
Well, also, I mean, it's not like Lambeau didn't hold a whole bunch of people.
That's my point.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, were you really thinking you weren't going to just be buying them from Ticketmaster or StubHub or one of those?
That's kind of how I go about most events, to be completely. I would like the opportunity to at least see what's available and then decide for myself based on seats. The majority of the tickets that I buy to events are on the secondary market, because I don't want to sit in front of a computer for an hour waiting for Ticketmaster to let me in line. Is that fair?
Oh, hold on. This is AI overview, which means it can't be trusted, and we don't have actually any thought. But it says, and you might have said this when I was reading, so I apologize. It says single game tickets for the general public, subject to availability, will go on sale starting Monday, June 23rd at 9 a.m. online via uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Legit question. Okay. Why would they not list that on the Badgers website? Do they not want you to know that?
Well, and that's why I say this is AI overview, and they might just be putting that together. I don't know.
What date?
June 23rd. Monday, June 23rd is what they're saying.
I'm looking at a key timeline on the Badgers website. Guess what date isn't listed?
June 23rd.
Yep. So dumb. Well, maybe we'll be there. Maybe we won't. I guess we'll see. Bucks is literally nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't find anything. AI overviews got nothing on Giannis?
No.
Bucks.
Nothing.
No, just more people talking about the potential trade packages and what would be best, and people saying if Giannis was traded, this would be the team he'd want to go to, and blah, 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 blah.
The deadline is approaching. Tuesday, June 23rd, 7 p.m. Central, ABC, ESPN, round 1 of the NBA draft. Jimmy Haslam told us, and we tell you every day, between now and then, we're supposed to know whether Giannis is going to sign the Supermax in Milwaukee or be traded. In other news, boy, am I jacked for this. The NBA Finals start tomorrow night.
Okay, right now, tell me, how many games of the NBA Finals do you think you watch?
I would set the over-under, and I'm not kidding, at 1.
Yeah.
If I watch a complete game, front to end, I will be shocked.
I was going to say setting the line at a half a game.
Okay, I almost did that.
Because I think if you watch one, that's the over.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Well, yeah, that's fair. And it has to be in its entirety, like from tip to buzzer.
Sure. I mean, I'm not talking like, you're not even getting up to get a snack, like you're not missing a second of the action, but you're choosing over doing a different activity to watch a game of the NBA Finals.
Any activity, pretty much.
Right.
I tried to watch Game 7, and it was on in the garage. We were sitting out by a fire in my little solo stove in the driveway with my neighbors and friends and family, and I kept an eye on it. And then I looked at my buddy Andy, and I'm like, crap. There's 5 minutes left in the third. It looks like a close game. I'll be in here. I had to leave the party.
Yeah.
You watching it? Are you watching it? Cover to cover?
Not every game. Not every game, but I'll definitely be watching at least a few. Be interested to see Wemby.
Did you stay up and watch UWM last night?
Anything else?
No.
Me neither.
I followed along for a little bit. Sparky jinxed things. So yeah, we had a Sparky jinx. Sparky has a guest from UWM coming up on the show, his show, Wisconsin Sports Daily, later this afternoon. And he made the announcement, and Tommy, in that chat that we had, said, wow, you booked the guest as they're playing the game? Like, aren't they a little too busy to? And then the next second, Auburn hit a solo shot to take the lead.
No way.
And never looked back.
Well, it's nice to know somebody else has that power.
That one was on Sparky.
Yep. The final last night, Auburn 8, UWM 3. It was the regional final in the NCAA baseball tournament. Milwaukee made some news. They beat Auburn earlier in the week. They also beat UCF. They were in the driver's seat to take on the super regional had they gotten out of said regional. But there's a reason this is news, and it's because Milwaukee shocked the world by beating Auburn and then obviously coming around and beating UCF. They scored 13 runs in each of those games and 3
in the next 2 against Auburn.
Yeah.
This is just another reason, though, I want to make sure that I stress this, of why March Madness is the best product. Because that upset, that Cinderella story continues after one game, right? It's not, if you have the March Madness tournament and every time there's an upset, it's a best of 3, that upset's not moving on. It has to be that one game, that one time when they just shoot lights out, and that's how you have the upsets in the Cinderella stories. That's why you don't see them in college baseball as much either, because it's not just a one game. You get the series. So I feel a lot of us knew that going into the rest of this. It's still very much an uphill climb for the Panthers to make it to the Super Regional, but still awesome to just see their names in headlines, and at the very least give Auburn a scare.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. When we get back, we have questions. The question of the day: what gets you off the couch to go to a Brewers game? Is it the opponent? Is it the promotional giveaway? Is it the win-loss record? Is it, did you get free tickets? Or something else? 414-677-1250. Nick DeLay Law, talk and text line. On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions, presented by Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
1-4-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. Time for I Have Questions, presented by Capital Credit Union. In sports and in life, the right partner matters. At Capital Credit Union, they are there for you every step of the way. Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing. The first question of the day is an answer to some of the questions we actually reviewed yesterday from Capital Credit Union. We talked about budgeting, Josh, and helping the boys.
Correct.
This one's even harder to explain to teenage boys, though. The question, what is the main purpose of an emergency savings fund? We know this. It's to cover surprise expenses without disrupting your budget. That makes sense for you and I. Hey, Rhodey, you need an emergency savings fund.
No, I don't.
For what, Dad?
I'm going to live forever. Right.
What do I have to worry about that you're not going to pay for?
Right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, tough for the kiddos.
That's why we have an emergency savings fund.
Fair.
Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing. What's the right thing when it comes to attending Brewers games? Do you just wait for season free tickets? Like you get tickets for free throughout the season? Do you wait for the promotional giveaway list? Are you looking at the schedule and going, gotta be there to see Shohei Ohtani? Or something else? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. Josh, I've been to your house, and from your house, we have driven to AmFam Field. It is not far away.
No, it is not.
So what gets you off the couch to go to a Brewers game? Because mine might be different.
So it's a mixture. It's a mixture of things. If there's a giveaway that's a need, like one that's a huge need, like we both talked about that that Brandon Woodruff bobblehead, that one's coming home, right? So
I have questions about that, but keep going.
That one's going to be all right. We're going to find a way to get to that game. But the biggest thing for me is winning. I've said it forever, right? Winning changes everything. I feel like a lot of teams, a lot of organizations want to focus on the giveaways and all these other things. People in Milwaukee, passionate Brewers fans, will show up when when they're proving, hey, this is a team that has a shot. This is a team that really has a shot. Not just we have the lead by a couple of games, but when the city is vibing and you start seeing people wear more Brewers gear just out on the street, that's when I feel like there are more sellouts and more people are showing up to games because people are legitimately, they just want to win. They want to win so bad. So for me, it's winning, especially down the stretch. When we get into like September, that's when I feel like we're attending a lot of games because we're getting hyped for the postseason.
That's when I try to attend the majority of the games. It's not that I'm unwilling to make the drive and put some plans in place and have a fun tailgate and all of that. It's just harder. It's just harder for us to get down there. It's a day. It's a commitment. I've even thought about trying to go like the night of in terms of like a fun night game. Well, during the week, impossible. Oh, then a day game. Got to work.
I will say this. I know that a few people out there will go to Brewers games based on the opponent, right? They go, "Oh, the Yankees are coming to town. We should go to that series." I usually am more turned off by the opponent than anything. If I see like the Cubs are coming to town and I was going to take the family to the game, I'm going, nope, I'm not dealing with Cubs fans that are going to punch each other and with my kids there. Nope, we're going to stay away for that series, right? So I feel like I don't think there's a single team that if they're coming to Milwaukee, I'm going, all right, I need to be there for that. But I know that's not the case for everybody.
It is not 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. There's a number of different reasons people are chiming in that they go to a game. The one that I really need to go to, and we talked about this just a minute ago before we get to some of these texts. Good morning, Trevor's Troll. What about a quarter zip giveaway, Trev? Going to that one?
Oh, good one.
No, they don't have my size. Stop it.
That's a shame.
Probably stinks anyway.
Yeah.
Saturday, July 18th, the Woodruff trading card bobblehead giveaway. It's a 4:10 first pitch against the Marlins. My question is, have you ever slept or camped out to make sure you're in line? Because that bobblehead is one of one.
For a giveaway?
Mm-hmm.
Slept or camped out? No.
Are they not the same? Okay. I was like, wait.
I've waited a long time in line. I've gotten there super early. I've never been there when the sun was still down. I've never done that.
There's a game the night before, a 7:40 first pitch. Do you think these must be Eastern times? Forgive me. 6:40, 3:10.
Yeah.
What time do you think the first person's going to get in line? Because that game's going to end late, and it's not like it's that. I mean, less than 24 hours later, they're giving away that bobblehead.
I don't think it's going to be insane. I would say probably 3 to 4 hours. I don't think someone's going to be there 12 hours early.
Am I the only one that thinks like this is so one of one?
I mean, I think you got to do the math, right? Of how many bobbleheads are given away versus how many tickets they can sell. Right? Even if it's a sellout, aren't they giving away, isn't it 25,000?
25,000.
Okay, 25,000. If you think 40-some thousand is a sellout, that means that you could get there 3 hours early, and there's a really good chance you're still getting a bobblehead.
True. I just don't want to risk it because that is one of one.
Yeah. No, that's definitely one that needs to come home. For anyone that was there to witness it live, I don't know how you don't need that bobblehead.
Well, that's my fear because that was a sellout beyond sellouts. That was
That's
NLCS game one. Yeah. Kirsten from GB. It varies why we go to a game. This summer, we're definitely going to the Marlins games. Hashtag 6th Great Lake. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Okay,
Kristen, you need to explain.
920, I try to pick up the lamest opponent to go, hoping for less traffic and less people in the crowd to deal with. Some people just don't want people. Yep.
If there's a lot of people that love going to like a Wednesday day game, a getaway game, if you can, because you don't got to deal with any of that. Super
Travis
smart.
Travis and Kenosha, the reason why I got games is depending on the team and the availability in my schedule. So it's more about availability in the opponent for Travis, which again, there's not a particular opponent that I looked at. I mean, granted, like my wife and my son went to the Brewers game with the Yankees and got to see Aaron Judge hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Brody was ecstatic. I did have a little bit of FOMO, but not a lot. I mean, that doesn't drive me to a game. Which one?
Well, any night game, Trevor would have to take off on the Monday.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's why there's not a lot of Sunday night games,
No, there's never a Sunday night. Never a Sunday. You go ahead and talk. I'm going to review the schedule so I can throw it back in that person's face.
Yeah.
Day
okay.
Game.
This is Jeff from
crap.
Fox Point who said, I go to Brewers games because my wife and kids love going to Brewers games as much as I do. It's the only sport we all agree on. My wife went to IU and I went to UW. So college is out. No one cares about football or basketball. Since we have season tickets, we go to 20 games per year, and I've been a Brewer fan for most of my life, so there's nothing better to do on a summer day or night. Jeff from Fox Point.
There's one Sunday night game.
There
it's
is.
Against the Braves on August 23rd. It must be Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah, but it's at home. It's a home game.
Yeah, and guess what? Brewers are off the next day. Why wouldn't I take off?
Yeah, well, of course, obviously. Man, I really hope you go to that game. That'd be amazing.
There are some Mondays that I'm taking off.
Of
later
course.
in the year.
Of course.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What gets you off the couch to head to a Brewer game? And where do you live? And how much does that take into consideration? It's a day-long And let me tell you right now, the construction that I have to go through to get there from here is awful. 43 in the Sheboygan area, get it? No. In I-94 right now, if I took 41 down, bleh, there's a part of me that wants to go the way you went. And it's kind of like that day you and I went to the game.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I've ever gone to a game from that direction.
Oh, really?
Like it felt behind the stadium.
Yeah. Going down Blue Mound. Yeah. The 920 says, opponent all day, watching players like Ohtani, Judge, Harper, who are generational talents that cannot be seen often. You have to go see them when they come to town. There you go.
When we come back, we'll continue to review your reasons, plus share with you the most electrifying sound of the day. No Jake Bauers homer.
Nope. With 16 runs scored.
What will it be? We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying,
sound of the day
the most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Fly ball to center. It's back, and it's over the head of Cox. Here comes Terang. Churio scores. Terang will stop at third.
Well, I think he snapped out of it. What do you think?
That was Bryce Terang's triple, courtesy of Jeff Levering and Rock and Brewers TV. And it is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Yeah, so no home run. That was the closest thing, too. But also, as Rock said at the end there, Trev, nice to see Bryce Terang back in the hit column after quite a skid that he was on.
Yeah, welcome back. That hit the wall right at the right spot where it got squirrely, and you're like, wait a minute.
He could go.
He could. And he was tailing it to third, thinking about it. And Matt Erickson was like, maybe we don't.
Yeah. Yeah, ended up not mattering. I did think, though, it didn't look like it was going to be that difficult of a play in the outfield.
He got the yips.
It looked like he made a business decision.
100%.
To put on the brakes and not try to beat the wall and knowing the wall was going to beat him.
It looked like he knew the wall was coming and he wanted nothing to do with it.
And he said, nope.
And he still hit it pretty hard.
He did. When I was looking at that, I was like, oh, like I feel like you had a better shot at that than you took. But all right, go Terang. Let's go.
He put the glove up and was also bracing for the wall at the exact same moment.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, in all of the years playing baseball and softball, I never played the outfield. Shocker. Why not? 6'8" lanky guy in the outfield. What could go wrong? So I have no idea what it's like to be going full board towards a fence and depending on the warning track. Like, oh, you should feel the warning track in your cleats. Or you get a step and a half and you're going to eat the mat. And he kind of ate the mat.
Right. It just was interesting because it's like if you're committed to not going for it, then back off and play it off the wall. You know, kind of like when they do in Boston, right? Like if you're in left field, you turn around and you play it off the wall when you know it's going to be close to over your head. Either way, didn't mind. Good for Terang. Gets a triple.
Also, the second time the wall came into play, we watched Churio try to rob one, and his arm got stuck on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just over his glove. I felt bad for Jeff Levering. Did you hear it?
Oh, well, I did. But also, he had, Churio acted like he had it. Like, when he came down to the ground, he hit his glove. He didn't say, no, I don't have it. He didn't show, he jokingly for a second was like,
well,
and then he's like,
TV,
no, I don't have it.
On the monitor, you could see that it went right over his glove.
Right.
So I wondered what does Jeff watch it on the field or are they watching a monitor? I just tried to put myself in Lev's shoes. I was like, oh man, that's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. He was having a lot of fun yesterday.
Call. Yeah. What's this Pablo Sanchez stuff?
You never played backyard baseball?
I don't think so. I was an RBI base. Was that a Nintendo game?
It was a computer game.
Nope.
Oh.
What's a computer? Did not have computer games at that age. 97? I was a freshman. No, I never played that game.
Okay. Yeah.
But can you imagine being the person that sat behind that thing at AmFam Field last night?
That was so funny. So funny when they were like, sir, we know you can't see the score is currently the it was brilliant. Brilliant. They were having so much fun with that.
And that's a pretty cool bobblehead coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of good stuff. I had no idea
who that was. Appreciate you guys all looking out for me and my vacation days. Trev, save your vacation day. August 23rd, that night game on a Sunday is played at the Little League World Series. You're right. Guess where it doesn't say that on this calendar right here.
Because it is technically a home game.
Yeah. Well, that screws me from a night perspective on a Sunday. Guess I got to work on Monday.
Or go to the Little League World Series game.
But is that okay? Can I take a Monday off if I'm traveling?
No. Don't be silly.
Braves, Brewers, August 23rd, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Sunday night baseball. Not at AmFam Field. What does strategery look like for the Brewers right now? That's coming up in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
There's going to be a play at home. Here's the throw. It's late. Bowers slides in. It's a double from Sal. Luis Rengifo with an RBI single, and we're all square to a piece. Line drive down the right field line. That is going to be a fair ball into the corner. 1 run's in. 2 runs are in. Yelich is held. Fly ball to center. It's back, and it's over the head of Cox. Here comes Terang. Churio scores. Terang will stop at third. Contreras. Left field, this is going to be deep enough to score Terang. 2 runs come across on the hit by Vaughn. Yelich, shovel right center base hit. Rengifo scores, it's 11-2. That's base hit through the right side. Churio drives in another run, and the Brewers have put up a dozen. Yelich into left, a base hit. Another run scored. Ortiz with a base hit into right center. That's going to score at least another sac fly for Contreras. 16-2.
Thought we were going to run out of intro music there for a second.
Yeah. Trust me, that was not easy fitting that onslaught into a minute.
We say here, these are winners' problems. 16 runs, the most so far this season in a 16-2 win over the Giants. Audio courtesy Jeff Levering, Bill Schroeder, Brewers TV. Hour 2. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor's troll just said the nicest thing he's ever said to me on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. 414-677-1250. We were talking about the one Sunday night game that the Brewers have on their schedule, which is a home game. Not really. It's at the Little League World Series on August 23rd against the Atlanta Braves. Trevor's troll. Look at this. Hey, I got a place for you to sleep at my hunting camp if you want to go to the Little League World Series.
But he expects you to be up and ready to go to work the next day. So.
Definitely on a Monday. Do you have Wi-Fi at the old hunting camp? Because God knows you won't let me take the day off.
No days off. Come on.
So why do Brewers and the team, and specifically Murph, choose when and when not to give guys days off? What is the strategy for the Milwaukee Brewers at this point in the season? What do you mean at this point in the season? We've barely started. I know. But we're 5.5 games up in first place. May was a massive success. And our schedule, according to paper, not jinxing anything, would say that we could be a little strategic here in the month of June. That and whatever else you got to get off your chest and out of your head. Time for the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
WisconsinMeatMarket.com. The Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. Ribeyes on sale for Father's Day, 10% off, including bone-in ribeyes. Go check it out. Plus the meat of the month, the Old Master Grill. Malott Meats and the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. they have these packages. I talked about it yesterday. Variety boxes. It's the Grill Master box, the Jumbo Grill Master box. Hamburgers, hot dogs, brats, perfect for the 4th of July. Now that summer is officially here. Summer's here. The boys of summer are doing quite well.
Yes.
Milwaukee Brewers up 5.5 games in first place in the NL Central. The Cubs are in second to last, by the way. But that's the weird part about the NL Central, because the Cards, the Pirates, and the Cubs are all tied at 5.5 games back, and the Reds are 7 games back. Later in the season, after the All-Star break, we usually look at those numbers and go, man, I wish that was 15. But what about June? And what matters most in June? Is it health? Is it 500 baseball? Is it winning series like they have been? What is the strategy the Milwaukee Brewers should have right now? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Josh and I were talking about the strategy with someone like Brandon Woodruff as a good example. We know that he's been out for a hot minute. Right shoulder inflammation. He had that cyst, and yet he's been throwing, and apparently it's going well. And he is currently scheduled, Josh, for a live BP tomorrow, according to MLB.com.
Okay.
So what is the plan for Woody? Or maybe the question is, what should the plan be for Woody? We know that our starting rotation isn't exactly what we thought it was going to be right now, especially because Logan Henderson has the low back strain that he's dealing with. But it's June. So what should we do with Brandon Woodruff right now?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel like you're putting the tinfoil hat on here. Some conspiracy theories going on.
You can't help but watch the Dodgers series last year and go, where the hell did these guys come from? We swept them on the regulars. Where was that? Oh, you shifty little sons of guns.
I don't think that this is Murph slow playing a return as much as I think it's a legitimate just, this is how things go. It seems like whenever someone, that's why I was really upset when Logan Henderson went down, because they said, 15-day IL. Okay. But and we've talked about on the show before. I don't remember the last time that someone projected to me how long a player was going to be out, and then that's exactly how long they were out. It always seems to be a little bit longer. And with Woodruff, it always seems to be 10 times longer in the injuries he's faced over the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I'm thinking, I don't think that anyone's slow playing anything. I just think that this is, unfortunately, the timeline and how long it's taken for Woodruff to be back.
Well, but should they? I mean, let's look at the season. Look at where we are. Look at June. Look at the schedule. Look at, to your point, Josh, how banged up Woody has been. Should they be slow playing his return? It's not going, hold on. It's not going terrible right now.
Sure.
With the current rotation. I knocked on wood. Knock it off.
Honestly, I would say it's not a bad idea if you had, if you had 4 solid starters. But the fact that it's, Sproat's kind of a question mark, and then we had Drowan pitch yesterday, has me out here going, no, get some. If Woody's ready to go, get him back in there and have him as your 4th, which just be grateful that that's exactly where he would be, right? Once Henderson comes back. Like, you have four strong arms, but it's a different scenario right now. And also, we're not 15 games up. Like, we got to focus too still on what we are in a very competitive division. The NL Central is still very competitive, despite, what the Cubs' downfall as of late. There's no way that I'm going to say we're going to coast. We're looking to coast through June.
So let's look at the Brewers' pitching roster. We saw Grant Anderson last night, DL Hall, Shane Drowan. We saw Jake Woodford. And obviously, is that it? Is it?
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, did you say Patrick?
Yeah. So that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Those guys that I listed are obviously more relievers than starting pitchers, right? Chad Patrick can start. We've got a deep bullpen. I'm just not maybe it's the yips with Woody in general, Josh. Like, it's so disappointing, frustrating, exhausting to watch us not only do what we've done with Woody, but now what we're paying him. And I understand that many in the Brewers organization and fans alike and members of the media with information that have been shared with them behind the scenes would say that Woody is a leader in the clubhouse, in the dugout, and just overall in the organization. He's worth every penny. But he's not pitching.
Right.
And so I would go, okay, well then at what risk do we rush him back? And I say the word rush because if he's pitching this live BP tomorrow and he's expected to be out until next week, do we bring him back next week? Does he go every other start? I mean, we've got guys that can do well on the mound out of the bullpen. We saw Aaron Ashby the guy's got 9 wins. Let him start a game.
No, do not.
Why?
Do not mess with that. The 9 wins for Ashby out of the pen. That is the one guy that you keep right there. Whatever he's doing to come away with wins, you keep that. I will say that the thing I think about in regards to when is it most important to have Woodruff, they talked about it during spring training about how he didn't want to do a rehab assignment and that it didn't matter if he was going to be the opening day starter. He wasn't worried about opening day. He was worried about the end of the season.
Bingo. And
being there for his team at the end of the season. I look at this team, how they're doing right now, and I look at our starting rotation, and we talked to Tim Allen about this on Monday, and I'm looking at that and going, this starting rotation is not good enough right now. If you go up against the Dodgers, which I think I also saw a graphic yesterday that said that if the playoffs started today, the Brewers would be a 3 seed and would end up facing the Dodgers if they advanced in the NLDS. Right now, even with how great Miz and Harrison are doing, those are 2 games. You need to have a more solid set rotation. So having Woodruff be one of those guys is huge, especially if they're not going to go all in and go get a Skubal or someone else.
So you said the starting rotation, and we talked to Tim about this, isn't good enough. For now, it might be good enough.
For now.
According to that's my point. So if it's good enough for now, then what does the now look like in terms of rushing back or bringing some of these pitchers that are currently dealing with these injuries? Because you're right, it's not good enough for the end of the season. But to your point, Woody said, I don't care about the beginning of the season. I care about the end of the season. As long as we can get to the end of the season, it's not like now doesn't matter. But what we have in place, although might be frustrating from time to time, is currently good enough. Last year, the Brewers swept the Dodgers. And we were happy and proud and excited.
Oh, we were living it up.
Look at us. And then we get to the NLCS and we see a bunch of dudes that we didn't see in the regular season on the mound. And we go, oh, hold on. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Their rotation in regard to their schedule, specifically against the Brewers during the regular season, was not good enough to win any games. And yet, at the end, when it mattered most, they had all the guys that they needed in order to win the World Series.
Yep.
So if we look at our roster right now, and we've taught Josh for weeks now about what a all-in type of move would mean in terms of going and getting a starting pitcher for the Brewers at the trade deadline, we're still waiting on Logan Henderson, who, should he be in the 5-man rotation? Or is that one of those question marks? Obviously, Woody, we'll see what happens tomorrow when he throws live BP. Jared Koenig is still on his way back to the bullpen. And Quinn Priester.
Yeah, he's the one we're worried about most. But I also think in the 414 here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line chiming in, says the Brewers don't want to fry their bullpen during the season either. Right? That's another good point. I think that's part of it of, we saw they put Drowan out there last night, but they only put him out there for 4 innings.
Well, okay, so let's go to last night and compare what frying the bullpen looks like to last night's game. Because I said earlier in the show, and somebody quickly blasted me, shocker, on the Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Towards the end of that game, what did the Brewers had a 14-run lead.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that teams don't typically put in a position player when they have a lead. That's usually when they're getting blown out. But you're telling me, and Josh and I talked about this in the break, that somebody else on the roster couldn't close out a game with a 14-point run lead?
Yeah, I mean, up by 2 touchdowns. I think that it was, though, when you started listing off the pitchers that were used at the end, I mean, I feel like Woodford is kind of our guy of that's who you put in when you're up 14 runs.
Yeah,
but
he's the new Brent Suter for sure.
I can't remember a time when the team that was up big put a position player out there.
Me neither. I'm just saying they maybe should have thought about it.
Sure.
I would like to see that over Grant Anderson, or maybe Jake Woodford gets 2-3 innings. Burning out the bullpen and having guys pitch live bullpen sessions, I think, is different. So look at last night. Shane Drowan pitches 4 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned on the home run he gave up early in the game. Dude, that's a good outing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and to the 262's point here, they say Drowan deserves more opportunities. He's really good. Goes on to say Sproat needs to go back down for a bit, and please don't rush Woody. So that's the other thing that hopefully, maybe, if we keep our tinfoil hats on, maybe the Brewers are experimenting with right now. And if they're looking at this as an opportunity to see, hey, are one of these guys that we currently have in the pen good enough to be made into a starter and to be that 5th starter should we need them to go. I think that's the more of the play than them purposefully keeping a healthy guy coming back from injury out.
Josh, what's a good ERA in Major League Baseball in your opinion?
That's a good question. I've always said if you're under 3, that's outstanding.
Ready for this?
Okay.
Shane Drowan's ERA, 2.87. Chad Patrick, 2.54. DL Hall, 2.20. Grant Anderson, 2.59. And Jake Woodford's got 6.2. 4 out of the 5 pitchers that we used last night have almost under 2.5 ERA. Drowan's the only one with 2.87.
Sure.
That's out of the pen.
Yeah. Well, but that's still, I mean, that's still kind of the point, right? Like of where those guys are at. I think back to, this was even before Murph's time. Like Council used to do this all the time too, of just, it wasn't traditional lineups of pitchers. It wasn't, you have your starter go as long as you can. If you need middle relief, you get that. Otherwise, you have your setup, your closer, you go home. It's all right. Let's have a guy throw an inning and then have another guy go the next 3. And then we're going to use this guy. And we're going to have Ashby pitch the 4th, 5th, and 6th of 3 games in a row. Like they're all over the place with trying things, which was very interesting last year. And I think we kind of didn't pay much attention to it because it led to wins. And so we went, all right, I don't care how you're doing it as long as you win. But then when we got to the postseason, that didn't work anymore, right? Specifically against the Dodgers. And so that's why I think the Brewers know this too. I think Matt Arnold knows it too, but that strategy just cannot work down the stretch. So I guess I really don't care if they do that now, but they can't do that in September.
Thus the question, what should the strategy be now? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. It's a Take Back Tuesday. Let me guess, you went and grabbed the audio of me saying that the Packers have no holes.
No, I didn't do that. No, you could just say it like you did right there.
I plan to.
Okay.
What are your takebacks from the last week? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. I've got one for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Remember, after the last pitch, make the switch. Brewers tonight. We'll get you started with Tommy Wirtz and the baseball pregame show, and then the baseball postgame show with Tommy and Tim Allen. Make the switch. If you've never listened to those guys on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, you are absolutely missing out.
Yeah, it's a blast. Especially after a huge win.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun. That one time we got to watch/listen to them, watch/listen to the walk-off.
Yeah.
And go crazy.
Incredible.
Real fun.
Lots of fun.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Take Back Tuesday. This is when we self-reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And we just go, okay, upon further review, may or may not should have done that, said that, thought that, did that.
Well, take it back.
Got to take it back. And this is, admitting you have the problem is the first step, Josh.
Yes, it is. That's true.
Would you like me to go first?
Why? Do you have one ready to go?
Just one.
Okay.
Big one. I have more than one, but this is a big one. Last week, I said out loud that I was starting to worry that I was going to eat crow live on the air if the Packers win the Super Bowl, because I just thought there was supposed to be a change in the coaching department. I was frustrated. It was a frustrating way to end the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that back, but here's the bigger one. I said that the Packers didn't have any holes. And if you, at that moment, looked at that roster and looked at the depth and looked at the starters that you think are going to be in there for the first snaps on offense, defense, and special teams, there really wasn't a hole. So what I said was completely legitimate. Depth, different story, but holes, none. I feel like we should have the sounder ready.
A few moments later.
Thank you. Josh Jacobs gets arrested and then released. And now we wait. And that created a big hole.
Released from jail, by the way. Not released from the team.
That's the truth.
Important clarification.
Yet. Maybe.
Oh,
yeah, that was a big hole. That's what?
I said, oh, God. Setting it up for next week already.
Shut up. How could I possibly have to take that back?
No, you don't.
This one I will, though, because it wasn't, a couple days later.
No, it was that day.
Yeah.
It was like after the show by a couple of hours.
Can I read your text message?
Sure.
Let me go back and find it here real quick.
Yeah.
It said something in the event of like.
I remember exactly what it said.
Bud, you got a way about you. Man, when you jinx them, you really jinx them.
Yep. That's what it said.
Good God.
I mean, that was nuts. Especially because there wasn't even like a different article or story that had come out of someone saying like, this Packers team has no holes. And then you were like, I know this seems kind of random, but I agree with this person. It was like you just had the thought. You manifested the thought out of nowhere of saying, boy, you know what? I really don't think the Packers have any holes. Boom!
Scary. Honestly, scary. I said to you via text, I'm like, and you said it back to me, how do we use this for good?
Right.
I don't really believe in the whole manifesting thing, but the universe is a weird place.
I mean, at some point it becomes undeniable, right?
We're getting close.
Yeah, we're definitely getting close. I do have to say that it was also hilarious, though, that it was you that did that, and then had it happen that quick.
It was immediate.
Yeah. Will you feel if he gets completely, no charges, no nothing, they don't pursue it any, if he gets out of this with no penalty whatsoever, will you feel vindicated?
Well, yeah, I'd have to take back my take back, because right now I'm taking it back because it looks like we're going to have a hole.
Okay.
But if there's no hole, then I will go back to my previous statement, please.
Maybe don't. Maybe don't say that though. Like even if I think that's my point, right?
Maybe we don't.
Even if that happens, I don't need you back on the radio saying the Packers don't have any holes.
Maybe we don't.
Maybe we don't do that. All right, here's my take back.
Thank you.
Oh, and I hate this because I might take back my take back. I might end up pimp my writing this of saying we heard you like take back, so we put a take back in your take back. I, for a long time, Trevor, hated the fact that it seemed like the national media, the ESPN, Fox Sports, you name them, didn't talk about my teams. It was always, the focus was always on the Chicagos, the LAs, the New Yorks, right? It was just on those, the big ones. And small Milwaukee was never a part of it. And if they were in highlights, it was because it was of a different team. LeBron was in town. And that was the only reason why I was seeing any clips of anything. And I remember being like, man, put some respect on Milwaukee's teams. We do stuff here. I'm taking that back. I absolutely hate this. And it goes beyond the Giannis stuff. I know what you're saying right now. It's the Giannis conversation, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm starting to see more and more clips coming out about the Brewers and them predicting like this is the Brewers' year. They need to go get Scooble. This is the time that they should do this. And I'm just like, listen, we're thinking it locally. I don't know that I need you national guys saying it. I'm getting like, I don't know, right? I'm just getting like anxiety over national pundits talking about the Brewers being in that position to make this type of move. And I don't know if it's just because I'm so scarred from that never happening before and it just being we're talking about the Brewers because we're obligated to, or if I legitimately just feel like they're jinxing us from this actually happening. Either way, I don't like it.
This is certainly a carryover from the Giannis thing.
Sure. I'm sure. Yes. I'm sure that absolutely has scarred. There's scar tissue there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm seeing this. I don't know if you saw like on MLB TV, there were a bunch of analysts, tons of clips floating around the internet of guys saying that they should go for Scooble. This is I'm watching that and I'm immediately getting anxious. And I'm going, why are you saying that? Why are you talking about that?
Why does that make you anxious?
Because I don't know.
This is not realism.
That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's because I want it to happen and I think they're jinxing it, or if I'm thinking I don't know if I want it to happen and they're putting it in the universe of if they're talking about it on a national level, that then it's becoming a lot more serious. I don't know. For some reason, it's just the Milwaukee teams. There are rumors going around about Josh Sweat getting traded from the Cardinals. That's not bugging me. The Packers get talked about. But forever, I was so mad that the national media was not talking about the Brewers and Bucks more. And now I'm taking it back. And I'm going, just stay away. Just stay away from me and my city. And let us just report the news after. Once we make the trade, then you can talk about it. Otherwise, leave my teams alone.
Let me try this. Maybe this will work.
Okay.
How incredible would it be if the Brewers went all in and got Scooble? Man, that rotation would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Might work.
It might. Maybe.
But is that going to make you happy?
I don't know. What are we trading? It's so against what Matt Arnold does. Why is Jeff Passan talking about this? Why is everyone? We get to play those games on local radio in the state. You don't get to play that.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone. I don't want you to talk about me now. And this is totally a crazy girlfriend mentality that I have. National media going, you were begging me to talk about this. And now I'm going, I know, but I changed my mind. And I don't want you to anymore.
It's not you, it's me.
I can't. Taking it back.
I would like to take back taking 3 Mondays off in a row.
Why? Why? Did something happen?
Well, or it just won't stop happening.
Oh, okay.
Now, upon for the review.
Mm-hmm.
3 in a row might have been a bit much. However, it's just the way the cookie crumbled, kids.
Yeah.
I had it planned. Like, that was an actual plan. So I understand the optics now more than ever before. And if I could go back and maybe take a half day or something different, I would.
I mean, do you think it would be different if it was Fridays? Because I feel like I take a lot of Fridays off.
I do. I really do.
And people don't seem to mind. But if you miss a Monday.
Well, taking Fridays off? Oh, Trevor must have had what an awesome way to have a long weekend, dude. Great call. Must be spending time with the family.
Yeah.
Going someplace. Good for you.
Right.
3 Fridays in a row? Man, what a family man. Man, kids must have sports stuff. Maybe they're going camping. Road trip? Maybe that's it. 3 Mondays in a row? That lazy son of a bitch won't work.
That's true.
Guy must drink too much on Sundays.
Yep. Can't get it together.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I hate to say this. I think it's a you thing. I don't think it's a Monday thing. I think it's a you thing.
Well, they know how to get under my skin.
Yeah, that might be it too. Just have a Diet Sprite. Calm down. All right. The 920 here says. the 920
Twist
says.
the knife, Josh.
Sorry. The national media, Josh, has always talked about what the Brewers should do, how they should sign Burns, how they should sign Woodruff, how they should sign Adames. They're always saying how they should trade a player to the East Coast team and offer nothing in return. They've always meddled. Okay, here is the reason why I disagree with that. When I talk about the national media talking about us, it's always here's why they can't, right? It's the same thing we're going through with Giannis. How many stories have you heard of the national media saying the Bucks need to find a way to keep Giannis?
None. Zero.
Because they don't care about Milwaukee. They care about getting Giannis out of Milwaukee. That's sexy. The more times that they can say the city of Miami, Boston, New York, Boston, New York, LA,
Portland.
Miami. No, they barely even are talking about Portland. The more ways that they can say those cities, they do. And so that was what was always frustrating, was that, yeah, you're talking about my team, but you're talking about them in a negative light. How can we get more guys out of Milwaukee? How can we talk about this guy that Milwaukee can't afford getting traded to a team that we can talk about? Now they're saying Milwaukee needs to go and make a move for this guy.
How do we get this guy in Milwaukee?
Right. And I'm going, wait. What are you saying? Hey, what are you talking about? Don't start doing that. What's that about? It's different.
Carrie from Tosa. Is this the one that you just read?
No. That was a different one.
Earlier, yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, they're coming in
similar.
fast.
Carrie says, Josh, I agree on your take back. It stresses me out when the large media, talk about
very big.
Are we not? Talk about what we should do, because then I feel like we have to do it. Ugh, go Brewers.
Yeah, we feel like a little bit of peer pressure, right? Because we're being talked about in a way that we're usually not talked about. It does make it different. I don't like it.
Oh, God. Brad.
What?
Jesus.
What if Brad
Jesus.
Said? Brad said, taking off on a Friday means you're a busy family man ready to have a great weekend. Taking off on a Monday means you're a two-bit drunk who needs less alcohol and more Jesus. Okay. Well,
when we come back, more of your take backs for me. 414-677. That would be a fun segment one day.
Oh, come on.
You know what? Let's do it today. We're going to do it right now.
There are people out there, all right, listening to this show. I know you guys have texted things alone, much less thoughts you've said to your buddies that you want to take back. It's confession time. Come on. Get them on there.
But what if they want to take something back for us?
You could do that too, but focus on yourself too.
Yeah. Or Jesus. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talking text line inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Our studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A Take Back Tuesday for yourself.
Go have a Sprite. Calm down.
Dude, thanks.
Hey, the Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, their jalapeno bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and a spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes. It's all available for a limited time, so get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's.
It's a Take Back Tuesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. It's the moment of reflection from the last week in our lives where we maybe thought of something, did something, or any of the above that we would like to go, maybe didn't, maybe shouldn't have. I've got one more.
Okay.
This one's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
It's about Giannis.
Okay.
I take back the disdain that I've had for years for LeBron James because, dude, how fun would it be if somehow LeBron got over his little Milwaukee, Memphis, and played with Giannis here in Milwaukee?
No way does that happen.
Come on. No, I know, but just dream with me for a hot second, Mr. Realism. Would that work?
No, probably not. Egos.
Yeah, 1 year, whatever.
Ball dominant. I don't know. I just feel like in general, Milwaukee is so just the opposite of LeBron in every way.
That's my point.
Even if Giannis wasn't here, just having LeBron here would be weird.
So my disdain would only carry if I'm trying to think of a way, if there's any way with like a veteran name that would be a huge draw that maybe other players in the league would go, damn, Giannis and LeBron? How long? Maybe 1 year.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of people were thinking when they got Dame.
I know.
They were going, damn, Giannis and Dame? It just didn't end up working. I think we learn a little bit from that now when we look at if the Bucks do decide to get a veteran player and they do decide to bring a veteran player in to work with Giannis.
Do you know how big that is of me to take disdain away from, like, I really don't like LeBron James.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that necessarily like changes. You're just saying it would be interesting if he was playing with Giannis in Milwaukee.
I would have to eat a little crow because I can't think of any time where I was like, oh my God, I love LeBron James. This is great.
Right. But if he was in a Bucks uniform, you'd feel like you have to at least hope he does well. Right.
Find it fascinating.
Right. Some more texts coming in here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. One from the 920 that says, I want to take back that I was wrong. So are you saying you were wrong? Or are you saying that you're taking back that you were wrong? Goes on to say, Tim Allen was right. We need a bat. 16 runs, 18 base hits, no home runs last night. Be better. That John Lundquist.
John, I have questions.
Yeah. I'm not. I need you to take back that text and rewrite it and then
try again.
And then send it back out. The 920, in regards to my take back about the national media talking about Milwaukee, says a difference with the national media now is that they're starting to give the Brewers positive remarks instead of always negative. That's my point. I'm used to the negative stuff. That puts the chip on our shoulder. That makes us go, yeah, we get it. We're small. You don't care about us, blah, blah, blah. We're going to use that to fuel the fire. Now they're coming in. They're pointing out all the wonderful things about our team and what this team all has. And they're not even saying it in a way of can't wait for that person to be on a different team. Like they're focusing on the Brewers. It's weird. I don't know how to react to it.
Somebody else in the 414 here is pointing out your you have a disdain for trampolines.
Yes, I do.
And yet earlier you were like, well, I wonder if I had a trampoline, I'd be able to reach the top of the wall at AmFam Field or do a Lambeau leap. I don't know about you, but I pictured one of the little ones.
Correct. Me too.
Not a big one that leaps in your backyard for decades.
No. And those are the ones I hate because they kill your yard. They look like trash. It's literally a trampoline in your backyard looks okay for about the first week to 2 weeks of owning it. And then it looks like crap. It looks like just garbage. And it looks like you have something that needs to be thrown away, but you don't. And you keep it, and it's just an eyesore, and I hate it, and it hasn't moved, regardless of high winds or anything else. And now I just have to live with it.
If you were going to use a trampoline to make a home run style robbing catch.
Yeah.
In the outfield at AmFam Field. Or if you were going to use that little trampoline to do a Lambo leap.
Yeah.
Are you standing on it and getting your jumping and
Great
jumping
question.
and then, or are you going to take off running, nail that trampoline one solid good time and hope for the best?
No, it's got to be I'm bouncing up and down, no run, because that's just going to be like a one bounce into the wall. That's just going to have me run into the wall with more momentum. That's not going to work. I think it's got to be I'm on the trampoline from a fixed position, no running head start. Also, those tiny trampolines, they don't give you a lot of air.
Yeah, I remember having one in our basement when I was a kid, and I don't know why. Was it just a toy? Was it a workout thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
The 920 says, hey, going to a Banana Ball Sunday, so I just had to put in a request to pull a Trevor and not work Monday.
That's what we're calling a Monday vacation day now.
Pulling a Trevor.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I got a Trevor day coming up.
What? Why would you need to take a Monday off if you're going to Savannah Ball on Sunday?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Why would maybe just to, I don't know, take a vacation day?
No, he needs to recover. That's his point. He needs a recovery day. Oh, that's
Matt
fun.
Schneidman from The Athletic. He's jumping on with us next, scheduled to appear.
I need Matt Schneidman to take back a tweet he put out yesterday.
Why?
Because it was a complete mood killer.
Are you going to tell us more now or wait?
Sure, I'll tell you. Everyone wants to know what's happening with Josh Sweat. We're looking for any positive news we can right now for the Green Bay Packers. Rumor mill flying. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to shut that down. I haven't heard anything. Boo, Matt. Keep that to yourself.
Well, Matt joins us for the first time in months. This should go well. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Got questions? We'll ask Matt and hope for answers. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Matt Schneidman at the top of the hour. Stay here, Wisconsin. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
It's going to be a play at home. Here's the throw. It's late. Bowers slides in. It's a double from Sal. He's running Hinkle with an RBI single, and we're all square to a beat. Line drive down the right field line. That is going to be a fair ball into the corner. 1 run's in, 2 runs are in. Yelich is held. Fly ball to center. It's back, and it's over the head of Cox. Here comes Terang. Churio scores. Terang will stop at third. Contreras. Left field, this is going to be deep enough to score Terang. 2 runs come across on the hit by Vaughn. Yelich, shovel right center base hit. Rengifo scores, it's 11-2. That's base hit through the right side. Churio drives in another run, and the Brewers have put up a dozen. Yelich into left, the base hit. Another run scored. Ortiz with a base hit into right center. That's going to score at least. Another sac fly for Contreras. 16-2
is your final. Jeff Levery, Brewers TV, walloped the Giants last night. Did the Brewers 16-2. They'll play again tonight and tomorrow night, and then during the day on Thursday. Hopefully they all go that way, but maybe just, I don't know, take a break or something.
I mean, listen, that's the big concern, right? Once you score 16 in a game, you need at least a little bit of offense to still show up the next day. Hopefully the offense can continue in game 2.
The offense for the Green Bay Packers, a little bit in question. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Hour 3, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And to talk about the Packers offense and defense and just all things Green Bay Packers, it's been a hot minute. It's good to see him again. We welcome back on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Our buddy Matt Schneidman from The Athletic and the Tundra podcast. Schneid, what's up? Slow news time for the Packers. I bet you're bored.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? First of all, I know I messed this up. Okay, excellent.
We got
how are you guys doing? Good to talk to you guys again. Yeah. It has been a quiet Packers offseason for the most part. They made their noise last offseason, but it got a little hairy here in recent weeks.
Yeah. The last week and a half has probably been pretty busy for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything that I don't want. I like being busy. So we are at the facility in a couple hours later today, talking to Matt LaFleur, practice, open locker room. So right back into it.
Okay, so Josh and I were talking about this right at the top of the show in the 6 o'clock hour. Obviously, the Packers players were asked politely not to talk to the media last week. They gave him a week buffer between what happened with Josh Jacobs and today. And now today, all of the beat writers, yourself included, will go in the locker room and chat with the players. Amongst other things about their performance in OTAs and so on, there's also this Josh Jacobs story. So Josh and I were wondering, and maybe more me than Josh, because Josh said they got to do their job. But at some level, Matt, is asking about the Josh Jacobs situation almost a moot point? Because they're not typically, right? They're not going to say anything anyway. How do you guys go about that?
Well, I think some sort of question needs to be asked. And look, I understand they're not going to expand on the situation. I'm not looking for their thoughts on whether he's guilty or not. Maybe Jordan Love is just asked, how has this been addressed with the team as a leader in the locker room? And he might not even answer that, but I think the question has to be asked. It's a major storyline, the biggest storyline with the team right now. And it has impacts beyond just Josh's personal life. It has an impact on the team. I'm very interested to see whether Josh is at practice today. I was saying on our show with John, I do way too much right now, but I was on with Nagler yesterday. Sorry, I'm getting my appearances mixed up.
That's right. We like Nags.
Yeah, he's good.
And I was thinking, Josh is a free man. He has a job with the Green Bay Packers. Do they tell him, okay, you don't have to come to the one open practice media is allowed at per week? Because they're like, I was driving around Lambeau doing errands yesterday, and players are walking back from practice. It's not, they don't just practice when we're there. We're just allowed to watch one practice per week during OTAs. So will he be there today? I don't know, but I don't know what's going on inside that locker room. I don't know if they view it as a distraction. This is one of their captains, one of their leaders. I'm sure players have feelings about what they think happened, but don't actually know. So I don't expect any players to, expand upon the topic, but I think at least one question has to be asked.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I figured would be the case. And then you're also going to talk to Matt LaFleur, and I know that at times the answers you get from LaFleur also don't give you a whole. There isn't a whole lot of meat on that bone, but at what point do the Packers start legitimately worrying about what they're going to do at running back and filling this hole if Jacobs isn't there?
Well, Kuhn brought up a good point yesterday. Like, it's Goody's job to have contingency plans for everything. And this is one of them. Even if they have no idea what's going to happen with the legal case, and maybe police and the DA's office have kind of told the Packers which way they're leaning, but even if it's, right down the middle and Goody has no idea how this is going to turn out, you have to have a contingency plan. And maybe that contingency plan is hope Marshawn Lloyd stays healthy. But I have a feeling that a GM in his 9th year on the job has a better contingency plan than just hope a guy who can't stay healthy stays healthy. And Chris Brooks cannot be your number one running back, with all due respect to Chris Brooks. So maybe they've scoured the free agent market or called teams and had preliminary talks with teams about a trade if Josh, this is I want to be very clear. This is all alleged. It's we're allowing the legal process to play out. I think that's the only fair way to kind of address this situation. And even to present the hypothetical of if Josh is found guilty, if he's kicked off the team, like those are all massive ifs that may or may not come into play down the line. But to address your question directly, Josh, I think we're not at the point yet where we say, okay, what do the Packers do without Josh Jacobs? We just don't know how it's going to play out, but it's Goody's job to have a plan in place in case the worst case scenario does happen.
So, but Matt, knowing how, especially with criminal charges, and knowing that if the DA was going to pursue this case, there's not necessarily a timeline, right? Like, he was released, but they can go back after him at any time based on evidence or if something new comes to light. So it puts Goody kind of in a position, because Goody can't just look at this and go, all right, if by June 25th, nothing happens, I don't have to worry about this anymore and I'm out. It could be the end. It could be family night. It could be week 2. Anything could happen at any point if new evidence comes to light and the district attorney ends up going after him. So in your mind, if you're Goody, what is that timeline of where you can't wait any longer and you need to have some type of, you have to make a move?
I don't think you necessarily have it. You bring up a fair point that I guess technically there's no official end date to the case, but I think if you're Goody, you trust, and I wouldn't even call it a gamble, but let's say the DA's office comes out and says, we'll not pursue criminal charges. Like, sure, new evidence could come to light, but I think if you're Goody, you can't just sign another running back, because what if Josh is never found guilty of anything and he plays? So then I don't think you need another running back. And I'm not saying the last corner on the roster or the last O-lineman on the roster is that important to keep over another running back. Also, I don't think you can just sign a running back, because optically that makes it look like you think Josh could be guilty. People are up in arms online about how LaFleur addressed this last week and how he just declined comment. What do you want him to say? If he Sure. Could he say they're disturbing allegations? We'll let it play out. Yeah, but what difference is that from what he said? If he does anything taking Josh's side and then Josh is found guilty, horrible look. If he condemns what Josh did, allegedly did, and then it comes out that, he's found not guilty, then what message does that send to the locker room? Thinking about the message that a signing of a running back could send, does that send to Jacobs and the team that the team thinks he could be found guilty? And then what if he's not? What message does that send? So I think it's a real break glass in case of emergency thing. And you have some contingency plans, but I think you only pull that trigger if, he's found guilty and then you decide to release him, which, as I said, that's obviously a big hypothetical at this point.
Matt Schneidman, he's the Packers beat writer for The Athletic and co-host of the Tundra podcast with John Kuhn, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I feel like, Schneid, if you were on with McAfee online, both on air and on YouTube and Twitter, and you kept looking at your phone like you're doing now, he'd be like, what? You got news breaking? What's going on? You want to break some news? How are you? What's going on? You got news? Are you breaking news?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're the shot. All right, so last week I stuck my foot in my mouth when I said that the Packers have no holes. And then the whole Josh Jacob thing happened. And so I ask you, was I right on that in terms of starters? Like, are there glaring holes that the Packers are looking for someone to step into throughout OTAs and continuing the offseason programs? Or are they pretty buttoned up?
I wouldn't say they have massive holes in their starting lineup, and that's kind of Goody's job to make sure that's the case going into the draft, so he doesn't have to, marry himself to starting a rookie week one. I would say there were some deficiencies on the roster. Just from the outside looking in, it appears there was some at corner with the offensive line depth, maybe edge rusher depth, but they addressed some of those in the draft with guys like Cisse and Jagger Burton and Denai Dennis Sutton. I think this is a pretty talented roster, and I have been and will continue to be of the belief that this was a legitimate Super Bowl contender before Micah Parsons and Zach Tom went down in that Denver game. They were 9-3-1. They were second in the NFC. They were leading the division, and I think they could have gone to the Super Bowl if those two guys don't get hurt. They can withstand probably the Tucker Kraft injury, the Devontae Wyatt injury, but they can't withstand Parsons and Zach Tom. So, do they have gaping holes? No. But there are still questions surrounding the cornerback group. Is Jordan Morgan any good at left tackle? Who's going to step up behind Parsons when Parsons is healthy? And more importantly, when he's not on the field as we expect to start the season. So I wouldn't say there's anything like, oh, the Packers need to make a move there. It's more so, are these guys that they're counting on to play better than they did last year going to step up?
All right, so then if there aren't any holes, then is it just you like raining on parades, or what is it with this tweet that you felt the need to put out yesterday saying, yeah, sorry to burst everyone's bubble, there's no movement on Josh Sweat to the Packers?
I guess I didn't need to put out a tweet because if there's an internet, I don't know where this rumor started. I had my editor at The Athletic message me yesterday being like, is there anything to this Josh Sweat thing? Nagler mentioned it to me before we started recording. I was like, what are you talking about? Where did this start? I haven't seen anything from the people I follow about this. And so I got some info on it and I just put out just because it seemed like something that had caught a lot of traction and picked up steam among the fan base. And, it's not my job, and I try not to get into, I don't know, addressing everything that fans are talking about because, as a fan of another team, I know how fans can be. They can maybe be trying to wish things into existence and I'm not saying that's what happened here, but it's a topic that caught traction and at this time does not have any validity to it. So is it my job to throw water on all the fire that comes out of Packers Twitter? No, but I don't know. I just felt, okay, this is a topic that has really gained some traction. But at this time, from what I was told, Brian Gutekunst has not had any discussions about Josh Sweat. And I'll say people we're like, oh, what the hell do you know? You said there was nothing, no fire to the Micah Parsons smoke. Yeah, I was wrong on that. I got bad information. That was on me. But this person who said the Josh Sweat thing to me yesterday was not the person who told me about the Micah stuff. So people thinking I just like talk directly to Brian Gutekunst about this stuff. Also like we can get information from many different places, and I can confidently say right now, could they, I don't know, could they see that their edge rushers stink during camp and be like, oh, let's call about Josh Sweat. He has the Jonathan Gannon tie because he played for him in Philly. Sure. But as of this point, or as of when I tweeted it, there was nothing to it. And I'm not like going at people by reporting that, or whoever reported it first. It's this battle between Matt and whoever no, that's not what it is. It's my job to put out accurate information about the team. And, I truly do believe that what I put out was accurate yesterday. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to rain on parades. I just said that kind of facetiously in my tweet. People, I guess, sometimes just don't like being told what's actually going on with the team.
You ever take a Monday off? Because that seems to haunt me.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Like I took 3 Mondays off in a row and haven't lived that down. But heaven forbid you accidentally put something out that wasn't 100,000% accurate at one point.
No, and look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I or any reporter for that matter is going to have a 1,000 batting average. And I got information from someone that I trusted, and I relayed it, I think, on McAfee's show for the first time, if I remember correctly, and probably said it some other places. And it was wrong. Just like last year, I spoke to someone inside Lambeau Field and I've said this on my podcast and numerous other shows before. When I asked Matt LaFleur after the Eagles game last year if he thought he was coaching for his job the rest of the season, that was not my opinion that he should be coaching for his job. That was based on someone I talked to inside the building. And people sometimes get it twisted that just because I report something doesn't mean it's my opinion. I wrote a whole column later in the year saying that I thought Matt LaFleur should get a contract extension. Me writing that story after the Eagles game about, is he coaching for his job, was based on something I had heard. And sure, he comes out and gets a contract extension, and Ed Policy is going to come out, and he's not going to say, oh, we were thinking at one time of maybe not extending him. He's not going to say that. We'd have to hook Ed up to a lie detector test to know what he's truly believing right now. But based on the information I got from someone I trusted inside that building, I reported what I felt to be the truth, and I stand by that. And ultimately, there are no lie detector tests. At the end of the day, I'm just talking to people who I've built relationships with throughout my 7 years covering this team and reporting information as accurate as I believe it to be. Could it be wrong sometimes? I guess there's that possibility, but I'm going to try my best to make sure it's not.
No, we need 100% accuracy from you.
Well, I'll try. Yeah. I don't want to be wrong.
I got one more Packers question. You've been generous with your time. It's great to have you on again. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Is this a hard team to cover as a beat writer? You have colleagues across the league. You've networked. You know people. The Packers are pretty buttoned up from the outside looking in. Josh and I aren't beat writers or even close to it. You guys are, and this is a pretty buttoned up organization. Do you find it difficult to find information to share versus, I don't know, following a team in New York?
No, I would say certain front offices certainly approach things differently. And I'd imagine there are other teams where the front offices talk more. Maybe it's just me. I can't speak to how Goody or others interact with Rob or Bill Huber or Jason Wilde or other reporters on the beat who have been doing this a while. But yeah, the Packers front office isn't a front office that's just going to be loose at the lips and tell you everything. So does it make it a little harder than maybe a GM who's going to leak stuff? Sure, I guess. But that also makes it seem like I'm complaining about my job, and I get paid to watch football for a living. So I'll never complain about that. But there are also other ways to get information from people that maybe aren't directly the general manager. And I won't say what I've gotten stuff directly from Goody before, but it doesn't always have to be that. It can be, I don't know, an agent or a family member or someone else inside the building in any department. And sometimes, like with the Josh Jacobs story, I knew that was happening or potentially going to happen for 3 days before it happened because I got a tip from someone completely unrelated with the Packers who doesn't even live in Green Bay that said, watch out for this. So in the couple days before the Josh Jacobs arrest, I had been calling the Hobart Lawrence police and, emailing the chief of police there because he's also the PR person with how small of a department it is. So information can come from a lot of different places, and it's up to you as the reporter to find where it can come from.
We got to go. We're talking Brewers and away ballparks. You're a big Yankees guy. What's your favorite ballpark outside of Yankee Stadium?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really like AmFam Field. I think it's a great park. I've never been to Wrigley. I'll be going in a couple weeks when the Yankees play there. So maybe that one will be on the list.
It won't.
It won't?
No, it's a dump.
Are you biased at all?
Yes.
Slightly.
Okay, fair enough.
But also it's still a dump.
Camden
it has
Yards,
historic value.
Seattle, I think aesthetically great ballparks too.
Love that.
Matt Schneidman, Packers beat writer, The Athletic, and co-host of the Tundra podcast. Schneid, good to see you. Down the road, boss. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. When we come back, what is your favorite Major League Baseball stadium that you want to go and watch a Brewers game at? Or maybe you've been to one and you really enjoyed that. Josh, I lied. I do have one. Wrigley, but I don't count it.
No, yeah.
I did go there.
Yeah.
It's a dump.
Right.
We covered that. But there's a lot more where that came from.
Very
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Some of my buddies are headed to Colorado this weekend for Brewers at Rockies. Jealous.
Been there.
When we come back, what's your favorite stadium to go watch Brewers at outside of AmFam Field? We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We're going to have to give this bag of bumps back at some point, I think.
Why?
Do they know it's gone?
No. I don't think any of them are up early enough to listen, so it's fine.
Nope. Inside Wisconsin Sports, not the Mason Crosby Show, although it sounds sometimes familiar.
Yes, true.
Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, and all of you on the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, where we pose the question of this. What is the favorite stadium that you've visited to go and watch the Brewers play away?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fascinating conversation. Some really close friends of mine are headed to Colorado this weekend, and they even talked about making a road trip to Red Rocks. I'm like, okay, you don't need to give me all the details of a trip. I'm not going. Like,
a little bit of really FOMO there, huh?
A lot of FOMO.
Yeah.
It's a bucket list spot for us. We're big mountains people. Ooh. We've talked about this. The Appalachians, the Smokies. We love down there in Tennessee. I have never been to Colorado or Denver. I mean, I've flown in and out of there, I guess. That's a hub. But I've never spent any time there. And apparently it is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, so the whole nucleus of this conversation for me came from the idea of the Giants being in town, right? And going, okay, they're here, but man, their stadium is definitely a fun one to go to. And, you see on the TV all the time, if you've never been there, that, all the kayakers, if they hit one over the stadium, right? And how cool that is. That's a very unique feature, not something that you see at, I think, almost any other ballpark. So, that's something that's very cool. And it just had us thinking, what's the coolest stadium you've been to or would want to go to watch the Brewers play if you were going to plan a road trip? I've been to see the Giants play in San Francisco. I've also been to Denver, both very cool places. Denver was, the stadium was just okay, but it was still a fun one to go to, like that one. My favorite was Camden Yards. There's just something about in Baltimore that it was just a perfect sunset overlooking, from your seats watching the game with that. The building there on the right, it was gorgeous. Absolutely loved it. Have not been to Pittsburgh yet, and I know that's on the top of a lot of people's list, but that's one of them for sure.
I just got a text from one of my buddies that's going. He's like, dude, just come with us. The problem is you're going to miss work on Monday.
Oh. So what's new? So that's fine.
I'm not going. Can't go. Got stuff. So I've been to Wrigley, the dump, to watch the Brewers, but I think that's it. Now, I went to a St. Louis game. I think I told you this. It was Cards-Cubs. I was in hell.
Yeah. That's a terrible one to go see, too.
Real bad, but it went in Rome. I mean, we had nothing going. It was a night game. We were staying at the hotel right next door. I think we got in for like $5. I have seen other stadiums in my travels.
But you haven't seen a game there.
Right. We flew into San Francisco, and when we went on our honeymoon cruise a long time ago, 18 years this year, we docked right there. I mean, we saw the stadium. I've seen the Tiger Stadium because it's right next to Ford Field.
I have not been there.
We've driven past the White Sox Stadium on the south side of Chicago, right? So I take it into consideration. Trying to think. Oh, Cleveland. I saw Cleveland driving by along the lake there. Pretty cool. Used to be Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
The Jake, they called it. But I think that's it. Maybe the National Stadium when I went to D.C.? No, I don't think so. But I would like to go. And so it's interesting that you bring this up because Amanda and I tried to do a road trip for the Packers. And we haven't done this successfully consistently, but it's something that we've looked into. And we were excited to possibly go to L.A. this year. Well, not happening. Thanksgiving Eve. But we should probably spend more time looking to go to a Brewers game, an away Brewers game. I think I'm really missing out.
Well, and my thing is I just love the uniqueness of baseball stadiums. So even if the Brewers aren't playing, if it works into vacation or something to where I can see a game at that stadium, I'm going to do it. So I've been to the home parks of the Orioles, the Yankees, the White Sox, the Guardians, the Royals, the Twins, the Angels, the Phillies, Nationals, Cubs, Reds, Brewers, obviously, and Rockies, Dodgers, and Giants.
Damn.
So not bad, but still have a ton to go. And let me tell you, it's even more frustrating when I went and saw a Yankees game, I was too dumb to think about seeing a Mets game. Like I could have crossed both of those out. Didn't do it. Frustrating. Same
thing. And you
thing.
still went to Disney all those years?
No, this was before. There's a few. When we went to Disneyland years ago, I made sure we also saw an Angels and a Dodgers game.
Solid.
So, but I've never been to St. Louis. That's in division and closer. Same with Detroit. Those are the two that are surrounding, right? Closest two that are off my bucket list.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. A number of people chiming in, including the 414 that just said, I just got back from Houston to see the Brewers. I've been to about 12 parks to see the Brewers over the years. The clear number one, in this person's opinion, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Could you handle yourself down there?
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be able to truly enjoy it because I would just purposefully be looking at it with goggles of hatred the entire time. Oh, there's where you're celebrating all 11 of your World Series championships. Good for you. It would be hard for me to.
Goggles of hatred.
Yep.
Put that one in the memory bank for future
use.
Use.
There you go.
The 920 says Colorado and Cincy.
Yep.
Those are good ones. 608 just going up here, Josh. Coors Field, beautiful. Rocky Mountains in the background. Definitely that. There's another one.
Yeah,
as much
Busch
as
Stadium.
I hate the Cardinals, Busch Stadium is very nice. Jacob in a van, the Great American Ballpark in Cincy is where he's been. The Brewers could have this is true. Matt in Minneapolis. Nope, maybe. I don't know. The text, I'm telling you, I wish you guys could see this.
This is just the 480.
It's a good take here. Says the Brewers could have had an outstanding stadium if it could have fit somewhere by the lake and maybe the outfield facing downtown. Here's the problem. You're right. Now, we're not taking what we have for granted. It's amazing. AmFam Field is amazing. And when it was being built, I just stumbled upon some pictures. Somebody was showing us pictures the other day of their time actually went to AmFam Field when it was being built at Miller Park. That stadium being built beyond the right field wall, sitting in County Stadium, was mesmerizing. Like it was so much bigger.
Yeah.
And better and beautiful, and a roof
and
that
a
retracts.
Right.
But boy, would that have been cool to be downtown. And a lot of people say that that's a miss.
No, but here's the other thing, too, that we take for granted with that, right? Not only would it have been the thing about the breeze off the lake coming in, right? So if you want to be a hitter's park, you're going to be dealing with that a little bit. But also, what's one of the biggest things we associate with Brewers games? Tailgating. You need parking lots, bud. You need big parking lots to be able to do that. That's a huge part of Brewers lore, especially to people that come and visit, because it's much more difficult to do that when you're at a Red Sox game or a Cubs game, to be able to have that type of event take place. So there are still things that we get to have because the stadium isn't along the lake.
The 414 says Fenway and Pittsburgh are my two favorites that I saw a Brewer game in.
Yeah, haven't been to either of those. Would love to get there.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis, cool old throwback feel. There's another one. I agree that St. Louis is a destination. Stupid question, Josh.
Yeah,
because we're getting a lot of St. Louis. I hate to tell you, think it's next on your list.
I don't like that, so I'm thinking it's going to be near the bottom.
The Arch?
Probably.
You would.
Well, like if I'm in St. Louis, I'm going to I'm going to do the St. Louis stuff. What else is there to do in St. Louis?
Do you have any phobias though? I mean, that's not a place I want to be.
Oh, I'd probably try to get through them if it's for to do the biggest thing you do in that city, but I don't have a huge fear of heights.
What are do you have phobias? That's maybe a different conversation for a different day.
I just worry about everything. So
That's not a phobia.
Right. It just takes place of the phobias.
Yeah, literally.
I
What are
love
you
this
afraid
from the
of?
262.
Yes.
My new band name is Goggles of Hatred. That's a good band name. That's a good
Told
one.
you. Put it in the bank. Remove 794 and move AmFam.
794, like the highway.
Yeah.
And move
I don't think
AmFam.
that's possible.
And also, again, right, like you're losing. You're still not going to have huge parking lots. You're not going to have all of these things that we have with American Family Field.
All right, let's put together a Brewers bus and go to St. Louis. Looking at the calendar, let's see. St. Louis away. There's nothing going on right after the 4th of July, right?
No.
That's literally the only chance we have. And guess what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I could take off on Monday.
Oh, could you?
I think.
Oh,
not
interesting.
that week, though. It's Pink Flamingo week.
Oh, you're already busy. There you go.
What are we doing when we get back? Flip a quarter?
No, we're going to talk to Rami.
Rami Makloff, 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. We'll cross over up next. Maybe he's got a favorite ballpark that's not the Dump.
I'd hope so. It's got to be easy,
fan,
right?
though. God, that would so a Cubs fan. Yeah, I love AmFam.
Oh, well, I'll turn his mic off.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Wendy's new cookie dough Frosty Fusion is the ultimate feel-good snack. Everything from the cookie dough to the brownie batter sauce was made for max happiness. Go grab a new cookie dough Frosty Fusion today and get that dopamine flowing. For the ultimate feel-good snack, it's got to be Wendy's.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, crossing over with our friends from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. They're up next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Rami Makloff joining us now. Two things, Rami. Number one, what is your favorite stadium that you've visited to go watch your Crum play?
Other than their home park?
Yes, away game.
Absolutely, other than their home park.
Okay, I haven't seen the Cubs in a lot of different ballparks, but I've been to a bunch of different ballparks. Man, there are so many good ones. Oh, geez, it's hard. Like, I love, even though they didn't hashtag put a roof on it, I do love Target Field in Minnesota. It is a beautiful ballpark, and the views when you're sitting in that stadium. I can't say both. There's more than two. Three of the four parks in California I've been to: San Diego, San Francisco, and Dodger Stadium. All gorgeous, but I think PNC Park in Pittsburgh was my favorite one that I've been to so far.
Yeah, I haven't been to PNC, but I've heard that it's just outstanding.
It is.
I want to go there. I want to go to Boston just because it's Fenway.
History, yeah.
So but it's also a dump, right? Like Boston's a dump.
I've whole city or just Fenway
no,
Park?
just the,
Okay.
well, I've heard speak to the city.
I've heard that it's people very much they compare it to Wrigley of just it's so historic that you kind of see past a lot of its flaws. We just see the flaws more because we're Brewers fans.
And have they renovated Fenway Park?
I think they've renovated it more than Wrigley has.
More than? Because Wrigley
so.
has been like completely overhauled.
Has it?
Yes.
Oh.
When was the last time you've been there?
I don't know. I went once and said never again.
It is a different place than what it was as a kid growing up there. And they've done I compare it to what they did to Lambeau in terms of updating an old building. I don't know if they got the same like construction company or contractors or architects, but it is very similar to sort of how they overhauled Lambeau and kind of remodeled that whole thing.
I need to get your guys' opinion on something. So if you're trying to see a game at every stadium for every team, and then a team moves, like I never saw Oakland. I saw
there's nothing to see there.
I saw every other team in California, but I never saw the Athletics. And now they're done there, right? They're completely out there in Vegas now, but Vegas isn't done.
Sacramento right now, yeah.
Let's say I would have seen a game in Oakland, and then they move.
Yeah.
Do I have to re-add them back onto the list?
I mean, if you want your list to be current, yeah.
Mm.
Or you could say,
okay,
posthumously, I saw all the.
Technically, the list is never complete as teams move or move their stadiums or.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, technically no. Yeah, you'll always be chasing.
Well, I mean, it could be complete at one point.
What about renovations? What about like there's old Yankee Stadium and new Yankee Stadium?
That's a whole different stadium. That's a different ballpark, same name.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What about AmFam? Like you said, you went to Miller Park, but you didn't go to AmFam.
That's
just naming rights.
Yeah.
Okay. No. These are the important questions.
Yeah, I think an overhaul or a remodel, I think you can still count that. But if they move to a different stadium or a different city altogether, if you want your list to be current and say I've been to every ballpark, then yeah, you got to go to the new one.
Okay.
You mentioned something about Las Vegas and Sacramento. Is that true? Because on my little handy dandy Brewers magnet schedule, the games against the Athletics are highlighted, and it says games played at Las Vegas ballpark.
They are the Brewers series. They're playing in Las Vegas. They're playing one series or maybe a few series in Las Vegas this year. But I know, and Tim Allen is making the trip out there for it because that's his second. Vegas is his second home, and the Brewers playing in Vegas. Forget about it. Like that dude's going to be on cloud nine. Good luck getting him on the post game show for those. Yeah, while he's out there in Vegas. But
forbid he takes off on Monday.
They are still in. Actually, they're technically not in Sacramento. They're in West Sacramento, and I lived in Sacramento for a little bit, and I know enough to know that those are technically two different cities, and actually West Sacramento is in a completely different county.
Interesting.
On the other side of the Sacramento River there.
Today, days old.
Yes.
Yep, that's right.
Did you know the Astros was short for astronauts?
I did not know that, but it makes sense. Like I knew it all went back to.
Oh, you didn't know that until right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know. I mean, it adds up. I knew that the name Astros was tied to the whole NASA is like based somewhere in the Houston area, and I don't know exactly where, but I didn't know that it was tied to that. But I guess I never put two and two together that Astros was short for astronauts. It adds up. Yeah.
Well, when I figured that out over the weekend, it blew my mind. I was like, come on.
He was literally picking his brain up off the ground.
What's coming up 9 to noon?
We will be talking some Brewers, obviously, after that win yesterday. And have you guys heard all the Tarek Skubal chatter that's getting louder and louder as we get closer?
Sure
and closer
have.
Josh
to
doesn't
the
like
trade
it.
deadline. All right, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the shakeup in the NFC with Myles Garrett and A.J. Brown getting traded, one coming to the conference, one leaving the conference. Tim Allen will be here at 10 o'clock. And whenever John Kuhn shows up, he takes issue with something Tom Brady said over the weekend.
Okay, good.
You know how Kuhn rolls. He'll just show up when he shows up. You know what I mean?
We just talked to Schneid. I know you guys talked to Schneid quite a bit.
Yeah.
He wondered if Josh Jacobs was going to show up to OTA practice today. What do you think?
Probably not. If I'm the Packers, I'm telling him, just sort of stay away. Maybe like come in the back door and get in a lift. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have him, facing the media or out in the public, so to speak. Yeah, I would try and keep him away and keep that noise and that distraction down as much as I can until you know exactly what's going on here and what's going to transpire.
Innocent, guilty, anywhere in between. Just pause for a moment.
Yeah,
let this
pause.
process play out.
Yeah, like we got to get this. We got to get our arms around this thing. Why don't you just stay away for now, or not like
don't make it more of a negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
Right. They already had to close off the locker room for the first round of OTAs after that news broke.
We're getting the players today.
Yeah,
we'll see how it shakes out.
We shall see.
More of that tomorrow morning on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Our thanks to Matt Schneidman from The Athletic and the Tundra Podcast for jumping on with us today. And as always, all of you chiming in on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We will be back tomorrow morning with Doug Gottlieb. Let us pray. Scheduled to appear. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. See you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.